The owner of this Mazda 6 2.2 Skyactiv diesel got scammed, and let me tell you why I think so. So it has a bunch of fault codes and error lights on the dashboard. As you can see, you can ignore the SCBS because that's because of the bonnet, but engine inspection required, DPF malfunction or DPF inspection required, soot accumulation too high, and the car is like shaking. And the owner bought the car like a month ago or 300 miles ago, and I will explain that a little bit later why it is relevant. So here are the fault codes what he's having at the moment. I scanned the car like 2 days ago or 3 days ago, and I believe he had more also related to the exhaust pressure sensor or the exhaust pressure sensor, but I will let you know that or tell you more about a bit later when we're going to check the live data. And I think, or I believe, he also had either the P0101 or the P0401 fault code. But now let's check the live data. So as you can see, the camshaft and the crankshaft relation to each other is 7.4 degrees, which is getting closer when it is recommended to replace, which is about 10 degrees. But to be honest, I don't really go by that number, because sometimes if I see the valve cover or underneath the valve cover is so dirty, I recommend the replacement of the timing chain. And also if I hear the timing chain, then I recommend it also. The vacuum pump or the brake booster pressure sensor readings are fine, although let me check how quickly it goes back to 7.6. At the moment I think it goes back fairly quickly. Maybe that has been replaced, I'm not sure. We will check once we are going to inspect the things underneath the bonnet. But now let's carry on. The reason I thought that it is relevant, why it is relevant that he bought it 300 miles ago, unfortunately I can't show, because as you see that number is 0. I think I deleted the fault codes, that's why the fault codes for the pressure sensor are not present, but it was around 200 something miles, and that adds up to that 300, or like it was 300 miles ago. And so I believe the previous owner or whoever worked on the car, they deleted the fault code, or there was like work done on this car, which I already checked, and I'm 100% sure that something was done to it, which I will show you as well and explain like what I think has been done to the car. But further, let's check the issues with the car. Yeah, you see the EGR is not moving at all because of the fault codes, I guess. It doesn't move, the values don't change. He has oil pressure problems which don't prevail at the moment because the car is not hot enough, but once the oil temp will go above 70 or 80 degrees, that number will dramatically decrease. So he will have oil pressure problems. And also, as you can see, the exhaust pressure sensor is reading 110. It's not supposed to be reading that high. That means the pipe is blocked, so that's why it is reading that high at idle. If I rev it, you see it didn't move. So even the sensor is bad, and also like the pipe is blocked. The DPF number is ridiculously high, that which is around 16 kPa. That's supposed to be 0.3 at idle if the DPS has done the regen recently. Yeah, let's get further down the list. Check the injector correction factors. The injector seems to be fine, to be honest. The mass airflow ratio or like values are off. Supposed to be around 5-6, between 4 and 6 grams per second at idle. Also the manifold absolute pressure, the required or the desired, seems high to me, and it doesn't really keep up with that, how much it wants the car to have. Yeah, the dilution is nearly 200 grams, which quite high since it was done the last oil change, so 8,000 kilometers ago. So for the dilution for that is quite high. And look at the accumulation of the particulate matter. it means the DPF is not regening, because that regen should happen when that number reaches 6.5, and it is not happening. And let me check when was the last DPF regen done. Yeah, as you can see, it was done 384 kilometers ago, and that number, I don't think that would increase normally that high. So yeah, he bought the car like a month ago, or like few hundred miles ago, like 200-300 miles ago. Yeah, and he started having problems. So let me switch the camera and talk a little bit about it. So as I said, he bought the car like a month or 300 miles ago, because he needed a car for commuting, like good and fuel. But unfortunately, when I checked only like the live data, and I then checked the condition of the engine, like how it is looking like underneath the bonnet, I found out that he needs at least the same amount of money to be spent on the car, on the engine, as what he bought it for. And I asked him, like I told him what he wants us to do, because we can do the job. He said only do the carbon cleaning. I asked him twice if he quite sure about it, because it's not cheap. And I told him it won't solve the issue for him. Obviously, it will get rid of the carbon from the intake manifold, but it won't solve the oil pressure problem, the DPF problem, the exhaust pressure problem, and whatnot. So what else we may have, because I haven't checked the car from underneath, like the oil pan, but assuming what I've seen from the top, I assume that it will be like in a very same or similar condition. So yeah, I asked him twice, I called him, and he said yes, please do the carbon cleaning, and I guess he will return the car, or he'll do something or claim something from the owner. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I'm going to disassemble the car. First, obviously, I'm going to show you the engine bay, what I noticed, and then I'm going to disassemble the car, the engine, and show you how it is looking, how it looks like inside the intake manifold, intake ports, EGR system. And then the carbon cleaning will be done tomorrow, but I think I'll do it in like a one video, so you will see the before and after results. So yeah, without further ado, let me show you the engine bay. So here it is. Let's have a look at it. What I can see, that the valve cover has been removed, because that silicone, that whitish yellowish silicone bubble is missing from there. So it has been removed, and unfortunately they put like silicone all the way around the valve cover with the gasket, which is not needed. You're supposed to be only putting on the four corners, here, there, and on the two other corners. Also, what I can see that the clamp is not all the way on the pipe, which I will correct. All the exhaust pressure sensor, that needs replacement. What I've seen, or what I see, these pipes, you see them blue colors or something, I don't know what they're called. I don't know if there's a recall or they just replaced the fuel lines. When we do this type of thing or repair, like let's say the exhaust camshaft inspection, we don't replace the fuel pipes because they are reusable. But I know there is a kit for that, and how you can tell that these are, I guess, on the fuel lines, as also the nuts. The original nut is silver on here, but darker color on that, and they are the same color. That's one thing. So the lines were replaced. I mean, that's not a bad thing. What a bad thing is that the injector nuts are over tightened, because you see the stud and the nut, they are equally out, or like equally long underneath the nut. So that means it is over tightened. What else I can notice? I can notice that you won't see, but the intake manifold hasn't been removed. Yeah, and I don't know what else has been done or why, but I can see the earth strap or the earth cable, that one is routed badly, or not incorrectly, to better say, because it comes from here and it is connected there. It's supposed to be connected here. So I don't know what has been done to the car, and I may discover another problems or issues with it, obviously. But yeah, let me just remove the parts for the carbon cleaning, show you the condition of it, and then get the carbon cleaning done, assemble the car back together, and then give it back to the owner. Unfortunately, as I said, like, we don't really like to do the job if it is in, like we would rather properly fix it, but the owner requested it to get it done, even though it won't get rid of all the issues. So yeah, we're going ahead. So after a couple of minutes, maybe 30 minutes later, I've removed the intake manifold. Have a look at the condition of it. It speaks for itself. Let's have a look at the intake ports. I would say very, very bad. So yeah, now we are going to make it clean, which for us it will be tomorrow, but for you just a couple seconds later. So the carbon cleaning is done. Dan has finished it. Here is the result. And now let me show you with the camera as well. So as you can see, it is nice and clean. We need to assemble it real quick together because the owner is coming in just a couple hours, so maybe 2-3 hours. And yeah, we've got other things to do. So Dan is cleaning the parts. I'm going to join and help him, and then we'll assemble it back, run it, and I'll be back when the car will be running and show you again the fault codes, because in my opinion everything will come back except the carbon build-up related fault code. So the car is ready, it's started, it's running. Then it's checking for leaks, coolant is still bleeding. Yeah, but faults came back straight on. Let me get into the cabin and show you the fault codes or the dashboard. So as you can see, the dashboard is lit, loads of fault codes, unfortunately. That can you ignore because of the bonnet is open, that's why it is on. But other than that, loads of fault codes as expected. So yeah, this was it for this one. We don't really like to do this kind of jobs when it's counterproductive, so we know it's not gonna solve anything, but the customer asked, so we're done. He said he's going to return the car, or I don't know, maybe ask for a refund or something. It's none of my business, so he does whatever he wants or however he pleases. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. Hope it was something interesting for you. Yeah, so feel free to like, share, subscribe, give us a super thanks if you can afford. Again, use the affiliate links in the video description. You can reach out to me on my Facebook page if you want anything get done, or on your car. It can be Mazda, it can be any car. Feel free to reach out. Also, I have to add that we are quite fully booked definitely for this month, and yeah, so yeah, but anyways, thank you very much for watching, and see you soon guys in the very next video. Take care and bye bye.